R.BHUSHAN, a trained motivator and guide to IAS aspirant, international motivational speaker, leadership trainer, CEO, coach, political strategist, and policy advisor, a comprehensive current for dedicated student. Listening is very powerful. Source is the Hindu newspaper. A tribute to a quintessential finance man. BPR's vital traits of professionalism, pragmatism, and an open mind were what made him a colossal. This article was written by Dibhurti Subbarao, intellectual bureaucrat, and oxymoron. Here is the thought. BPR Vittal, who passed away at 93 last week in Hyderabad, was a stellar example of a true blue Renaissance man whose scholarship straddled a host of disciplines: economics, philosophy, theology, physics, chemistry, history, literature, and political science, just to cite a few. And he had the erudition to combine all that into a worldview that was at once humane and pragmatic. BPRV was a quintessential finance man. He was the finance secretary of Andhra Pradesh for over a decade of 1972 to 82. In some sense, he defined the job, and the job defined him. In a career in the Indian Administrative Service (IAS), were fleeting from one job to another and one department to another is the norm. The BPRV had such an extended stint as a finance secretary was a testimonial to his exceptional personal and professional traits. Having been finance secretary myself both in Andhra Pradesh and at center, I know that an occupational hazard of a finance job is having to say no. Most of the time, ministers and their colleagues approach the finance secretary with a project and initiative to seek funding. Charge as the finance secretary is with balancing the government's books. Saying no becomes unavoidable no matter your inclination to be a positive. But how you say no makes a difference. It is here BPRV stood out. He heard out everyone's proposal with an open mind, gave them the benefit of the doubt, and took a final view, balancing the merits of the proposal and the finance available. And even when he said no, he did so in such an agreeable way that the other party left his office possibly disappointed but never disgruntled. It was these traits, professionalism, pragmatism, and open mind, that won him the confidence of a stalwart chief minister, the respect of the colleagues, and made him a role model of junior officers posted in the finance department. And he was such a colossal that even finance secretary of the both state looked up to him for advice and guidance on the critical public finance issues. A balancing act. BPR was a member of the 10th Finance Commission 1992 to 94. As many might know, the Finance Commission is a constitutional body appointed by the President every 5 years to make a recommendation on starting up taxes between the center and the state. It is an unavoidable job having to balance higher a share on the plea of the center to leave though for it take care of the critical national needs, including defense and secretary. Recall that was just time when the stalwart chief minister like NTR, Ramakrishna Hegde, and Jayalalitha rode out into a strident anti-center platform. NTR even famously said, "The center is conceptual myth." The center is conceptual, meaning that if you looked at the map of India, it was filled completely with the state. So where was the need for money for the center? I was the finance secretary of Andhra Pradesh at the time, and had occasion to interact with the BPR quite frequently, as we had offered him office space in the promises to facilitate